Copy, carjacking, stolen truck. Okay, copy, confirming we are streaming now. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for tuning in on the NBC LA streaming platform and all of our streaming platforms. And you guessed it, you are watching another live pursuit on the northbound 605. Looks like he's this truck right here, this white panel truck right here, exiting at Alondra Boulevard in Norwalk. Looks like he's coming to a stop. You can see he was fishtailing a little bit, maybe losing a little bit of control. This is a pursuit that where the driver has been driving at least 75, 80 miles per hour. It's a pursuit out of the Garden Grove area, a stolen panel truck by way of carjacking. And we do not know what the status of the person that got carjacked is, but you can see this driver is just driving through intersections, blowing through with complete impunity, not really caring much about anything other than getting away from law enforcement at this point. California Highway Patrol is the lead agency for this pursuit. I believe it started with Garden Grove Police Department at some point. Santa Ana Police Department got involved with it, and then California Highway Patrol out of the Westminster station. So I'm going to pull slightly out of the shot just so you can see how many patrol cars are behind the truck. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4. So you got a 4 patrol car police package, pursuit package I should say, following this panel truck. Now flipping a U-turn now on Alondra. Backing up into the patrol car. I'm not sure if he did that intentionally to try and make that U-turn, or if it was just to make a U-turn, or to try and back up into that patrol car. But very dangerous situation here now. That definitely raised the stakes for these CHP officers, because now they don't know at what lengths this driver will go to get away. We do not know if he's armed, but definitely he is armed with this panel truck right now. Don't know the gross vehicle weight on this thing, but suffice to say, this is a much heavier vehicle than the patrol car vehicle, so more than likely you are not going to see a pit maneuver against this truck. You might see some spike strips, but of course we know from all the pursuits that we watch, they're going to have to very strategically get into a position where they can deploy those spike strips, and the only way they can do that it really is to get ahead of this truck after to develop some sort of pattern where they can lay those spike strips out. And so right now still northbound on Alondra Boulevard, and he is just all over the place right here. All over the place. Very dangerous situation. Blowing through that intersection right there. And we will see exactly how they plan to stop this individual. We have seen pursuits before with vehicles this large. It's very difficult to stop these vehicles. Oh my gosh. That driver was completely oblivious as to what was behind him and what was coming up alongside him. And it looks like they made contact with that vehicle back there. Thank God that they're okay. But this driver is just all over the place. And I'm not sure if he's doing that on purpose or if he's just losing control. There's nothing in the back of the truck, so it doesn't have a huge payload, if you will, on board. But it may be just the gross vehicle weight itself and how he is driving this truck that might be causing him to swerve all over the place. But I'm thinking probably what you're thinking. He's doing this intentionally. Now on the other side, wrong side of traffic, making a wild left-hand turn right now onto Woodruff here in the Norwalk area. Still going. Right now pushing up against 40 miles per hour and accelerating. He's at our 3 o'clock. And this, oh my goodness, this is not going to end well. This potentially could be a pursuit where they may try and 1022 this or surveil this individual. He is just driving wildly all over the place. And my fear here is that with that heavy a vehicle, that size of a vehicle, he's going to lose control. He's going to crash into someone or something the way he's operating that vehicle right now. So right now we're on Woodruff. Apply the shot here a little bit here. Still making a wild turn here, and if you are any of our scanner monitors, our scanner heads that are out there, you know probably you are listening to them already radioing ahead to other CHP divisions and potentially other agencies. Man, did you see how he passed that one car? Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure they saw their lives flash right in front of their face. Wrong side of the road again. Still southbound on Woodruff. And very intentionally, very purposely driving all over the place. That driver completely oblivious as to what's going on here. And this guy's just all over the place. It's just so surreal that he's using that vehicle potentially as a weapon. Oh, okay, into a parking lot here. Let's see whether or not he's able to get out. Wild turn. Tries to navigate the dogleg in over the curb. He's back out onto South Street right now. Wild right turn. Back onto Woodruff. And now we know that he will go to any lengths to get away from these guys, including destroying property. And that's a very dangerous combination with this particular vehicle, because it is a heavy vehicle and there's not much that's on the road that can withstand the weight and the size of that vehicle. Now, normally we might say, just because as we look at our speedometer, he's not really going that fast. Normally we might say that he's not particularly going at a speed that is really dangerous, but this is still dangerous. When you look at the way this individual is driving all over the place, wrong side of the road, over sidewalks, through parking lots and such. And let's see what he does here now. He's making a right-hand turn now. Looks like it's going to be Del Amo Boulevard. Del Amo Boulevard, making a right-hand turn onto Del Amo. Another right-hand turn. And it's hard to imagine what he's thinking here, because it's not like you're going to, oh, made contact with that car right there, tore its bumper off. That driver's pulling over. I'm glad they're okay, but now this driver appears to be following, perhaps to try and make contact with the driver of that truck. I don't know. But if he's looking for a place to dump that truck so that he can bail out, it's not like they're not going to see where this truck is. It's huge, and it's quite visible, so it's not like he can hide somewhere and have enough speed to put distance between himself and those patrol vehicles. So it's just hard to know what is going through this individual's mind right now. So we're still on Del Amo Boulevard, still westbound on Del Amo Boulevard. Picking up a little bit of speed. He's gone now from 40 miles per hour into the 50s. Low 50 mile per hour. See where our patrol vehicles are. They're still right on his heels. They're not going anywhere. And we're trying to get to an area where we can perhaps look inside the driver's side window and see how many people might be in this truck, because we do not know how many people might be in there. It was carjacked and stolen by a lone subject, and we just don't, we haven't been able to see inside the car just yet. The windows aren't really tinted that dark, but we'll have to wait until we get beyond these trees here to try and get a perspective of who is inside this car. And you can see he's moving around in there. He's very animated. He's got his arm out the window right now. Not clear if he's signaling other drivers or exactly what he's doing, but he's just moving around in there. Very agitated, very animated. And now he's in a little bit of traffic here. He's coming up on Del Amo and Lakewood Boulevard. Let's see what he does here. And remembering that he's very intentional about trying to get away from law enforcement, but right now he's using his signal. He's in a regular lane, not a turn lane, but he's in a regular lane, but he's got his signal on. And earlier he had his hazard lights on, so that might be just one of his hazard lights on. Let's see if we can take a little better look inside, see who's in. So kind of hard to see in there. But I don't see what appears to be more than two people. Looks like just one driver inside the vehicle right now. And I'm thinking he's going to go around this car. He hasn't really waited for anybody, but right now he seems to be just complying with regular traffic laws right now, but just defies logic, because when you look at the way he's been driving, why would he comply now? And so all traffic's moving, he's moving ahead. And he's playing with his lights. He had his four-ways on, his hazards. At one point he was blacked out on the freeway, then he's turned his lights on. So just very bizarre behavior. And I'll tell you, it just goes to show you, just because it's the holiday season, criminals are still fully engaged doing their job of being criminals. So all over the road again, we are on Del Amo Boulevard still. Coming into passing Downey Avenue. We're in the Long Beach Lakewood area. Westbound on Del Amo Boulevard. No excessive speeds right now, but we have seen him pick up speed. Of course, our CHP vehicles are still in place. They are still right on his heels. And we have not heard any discussion about any potential spike strips or anything like that now pulling over, or slowing down at least. So it looks like we got a combination of CHP and maybe Garden Grove Police Department still on this. Let's take a look. Okay, so I'm being told that CHP may have 1022 the pursuit now that it's off the freeway, and now we have another police agency that is in pursuit. I'm going to try and zoom in at some point and see who this is. It may be Garden Grove because that is where it originated. And by the way, if you are just joining us, thank you again for joining us on the NBC LA streaming app and all of our streaming platforms. I'm Roland Sproul with my pilot and partner, Sorrow, and you are watching live images of a police pursuit now in the Long Beach Lakewood area of this white panel truck. This is a pursuit that has been going on at least for about 45 minutes or so. I think we've been with it now for probably about 20, and now we've got maybe a little bit of cat and mouse going on here. The driver looked like he was opening his door, like maybe complying or getting ready to surrender to law enforcement. And then he shut his door and went back in. So we'll see what happens here. He's just sort of opening and closing his door. Officers not quite yet out of their cars just yet. And as I was saying before, this a pursuit that started in Garden Grove. This is a stolen panel truck here that you see. It was carjacked out of the Garden Grove area. It has traversed a number of surface streets and freeways, the 22 and the 405, the 605 freeway. And then now off on surface streets here, we're at Del Amo and Cherry Avenue in the Long Beach area. A single individual, single driver inside. And this is interesting. This is starting to smoke now, so I'm wondering, I don't think we missed a spike strip attempt, but it may be the way he's been driving this van. He did drive over a sidewalk and a couple concrete barriers earlier in a parking lot, so he may have done some damage to the van, causing it to smoke now. So we'll see how long this plays out here and whether or not he has caused enough damage for this thing to come to a peaceful end here. And it looks like I see what looks like maybe a little bit of maybe a little fire on those tires right there. Looks like either they got a spike strip or he did some damage to that tire right there on the passenger side. We'll try and get back around and take a look at that. Okay, coming around. Let's see here. Looks like Garden Grove. Looks like Garden Grove Police. And he can go at any time he wants. I don't know why he's sitting there. Maybe it's a red light. But that hasn't stopped him in past intersections. Got the green light. He's progressing on. He's moving on. And again, still smoking on that passenger side. And I don't know, my pilot thinks that light might not be fire, but maybe that passenger side marker, reflect or signal, perhaps. But let's see if we can get in there. Yeah, that might be what it is. It might be one of the right signals, or rather right markers on the front of the van. But one thing we do know for sure, that tire is smoking. And that is going to cause him some problems. So let's see how he handles that. Because that tire is not going to be a tire here in the very near future, as it very slowly disintegrates. Now we are westbound right now on Del Amo still, passing Atlantic Avenue. We're in the Bixby Knolls area, or coming into the Bixby Knolls area of Long Beach, if you're familiar with that area. A lot of restaurants, pretty close to Cal State Long Beach, that area. Now he has stepped up his speed a little bit, about 50 miles per hour. And those Garden Grove officers still on his heels. I'm not sure yet if they are getting an assist from Long Beach Police Department. But from all indications, it looks like the CHP, and then we've got quite a huge pursuit package now. As you see all those police cars there's got to be at least a dozen there. And as they close in, you can see that truck starting to smoke even more. But he has given no indication he's going to give up or he's try and bail out or anything like that. Is the car door open on one of the patrol vehicles? They're going to probably try and get this other driver out of the way here. Okay, so they got that driver out of the area. Subject's moving around inside. He's doing something. He's maybe putting a jacket on or something like that. Hard to tell. But I'm going to see if I can see what's going on this tire here. Sorry for the jerky camera, but as we come around here, I'm trying to adjust to the helicopter movement here, and it looks like that passenger side tire is flat. Again, don't know if we missed a spike strip attempt that they made, a successful spike strip. I haven't seen one. Haven't seen that they were even in the position to deploy one, but that is part of deploying spike strips, is being, I guess, sneaky enough to be able to deploy one before they actually have a chance to, before the driver has a chance to know that one is being deployed. Officers out of their cars right now. So we're at Del Amo and Long Beach Boulevard in the Long Beach area. And right now I think they're just trying to see what this driver's going to do. Will he surrender? I'm sure they're making call-outs and trying to get him to comply to their orders. But he's given no indication he's going to give up. He's been inside the cab of that truck, very animated, just looked like he was putting on a jacket or something like that. It's kind of hard to see with the glare right here, but right now for law enforcement, time is on their side as they try and make call-outs and get the driver to come out of the vehicle. So it looks like one patrol officer is going to block traffic here. And the driver of this truck has every opportunity to floor it right now and blow right through this intersection, but for whatever reason, he's not doing that. I don't think the truck is completely incapacitated in any way, shape, or form. I just think he's probably taking stake in what's going to happen next here and how possibly he can get out of this situation. Whether he should give up or maybe bail out or try and, you know, continue on with the pursuit, we just don't know at this point. And I'll tell you, if you're a criminal and you're going to carjack a big panel truck like this, you just got to know you're not going to be able to operate this thing with any level of speed or any level of tactical driving, if you will. That's going to allow you to get away from these patrol vehicles. I mean, they all have police packages on them. They're able to, you know, keep up with most vehicles and blow past most vehicles on the roadway. But that didn't really seem to matter to this individual. He just seemed intent on trying to get away. Thought this was just going to be a typical Saturday. I'll just carjack a white panel truck and do what I'm going to do with it. But obviously Garden Grove Police Department had a different plan for him, and they still have a different plan for him. But the choice is his right now to give up and completely comply, because with this many police cars, there's just no getting away. There's just no getting away at this point. They're going to be on him. Now again, if you're just joining us, you are watching what we think may be the termination. Oh, not the termination. That's why I said might. And that's why I said he has every opportunity to accelerate through that intersection, and that is exactly what he did. So a little game of cat and mouse here with this driver as he tries to lull law enforcement into maybe a sense of, you know, relaxing a little bit, maybe thinking that that he was going to give himself up, simply a ploy to get them out of their vehicles so that he could accelerate through the intersection and maybe continue on with this pursuit. Now stopping again here at Del Amo and Pacific Avenue, and that passenger side tire still continues to smoke. Just sort of a wild fishtail movement there as he moves on, continuing westbound on Del Amo Boulevard. You see the night sun there. Sorrow, who's our going to find out here for you who our airship is, but He's in. Okay. We got to readjust our location here. Got some other airships and oh boy. There we go. So the vehicle right now stopped at the intersection of Del Amo and Susanna Road. This is in Long Beach. And again, it's just a game of cat and mouse where he stops and he goes. He stops and he goes. Using perhaps this as a ploy to get officers out of their cars, out of their vehicles, relaxed, thinking that he's going to give it all up. And then he punches right through the intersection again and proceeds on. And there he goes again. Through the intersection at Susanna, still westbound on Del Amo. So who's our airship? CHP is our airship. At one point, we had the Duke aircraft from Orange County Sheriff's Department on the pursuit. So we had 2 airships. We're down to 1 airship, I believe, right now, and that is CHP. Now, if you all are joining us again, thank you again for joining us on all our streaming platforms and our NBC LA app. I'm Roland Sproul in News Chopper 4 with my pilot and partner, Sorrow. You're watching live images of a police pursuit that's been going on now for at least an hour, possibly more. Garden Grove Police Department, CHP, in pursuit of a stolen white paneled truck. That's that one right there that you see in the middle of your frame. Stolen out of Garden Grove after being carjacked. And it is a pursuit that has traversed a number of different freeways and surface streets, from surface streets in Garden Grove to Stanton to the 22 freeway, the 405 freeway, the 605 freeway, and now back on the surface streets where we are right now in the city of Long Beach. He is now eastbound on Santa Fe Avenue in the Long Beach, actually heading into the Carson area, I should say. And I'll try and listen to see if they're going to pull in Carson Sheriff to be a part of this. But we are heading into the Rancho Dominguez area. It has been a relatively low to moderate speed pursuit thus far, and you can imagine probably why. The size of that vehicle, vehicles that size, they may have governors on them as well to keep them from going too fast. But it is a fairly heavy vehicle in terms of gross vehicle weight. So this guy has been all over the road with it. Some of that has probably been intentional, and some of it has been just him fishtailing and losing control over that truck just by virtue of its sheer size and its weight. The back door of the truck is open, and so we can see inside. There's nothing in the back of it. Perhaps he thought at some point that he was carjacking or stealing a truck that had plenty of Christmas goodies or something inside it, only to open it up and determine that there's absolutely nothing in the back of that truck. And so there's no additional payload to the truck, and that definitely could have, the extra weight could have definitely impacted the operation of this truck. But I would go out on a limb and say he's not really operating it all that well or that safely thus far. So Garden Grove Police Department in pursuit. It has changed hands from Garden Grove Police to the California Highway Patrol. And then the Highway Patrol bailed out, and I believe we just have Garden Grove Police CHP air asset overhead. And I'm just trying to see, it looks like that's Garden Grove Police, but it's kind of hard to tell. And of course they've got a couple of patrol vehicles here. I'm also trying to see who else might be involved. There's the sheriff, LA County Sheriff Department also involved. So you've got Garden Grove Police Department, you got the Sheriff Department from LA County Sheriff, and you got CHP as our air asset overhead involved in this chase. It has been a chase that where this individual is sort of playing cat and mouse with them. There was a point where he stopped and looked like he was going to get out, and then closed the door and kept going. Damage to the passenger side front tire, and you might ask the question, well, was it due to a spike strip? We have not seen one, but what we have seen is this driver drive over curbs and over small concrete barriers through parking lots and that sort of thing, and that quite possibly may have been what damaged that tire. And you can see, I'm starting to see sparks now fly out from that tire, so there's some rim that's making contact with that street right now. And so it looks like we're, getting back on the freeway here. Let's see here, I'll let you know where we're at here in just a second. Picking up a little bit of speed. Okay, not on the freeway. He's on Wardlow Road right now. Wardlow and Magnolia in the Long Beach area. And it looks like we've got two flat tires possibly. That driver's side is not looking very healthy. So, folks, we've got two flat tires. That is definitely flat right there. So it's going to be interesting. Oh, hit that curb right there, a few sparks. It's going to be interesting to see how much longer this lasts here. He's got two flat tires in the front. Yeah, I just said that. Oh, up on the curb, up on the island. Oh, just passed through, just crashed into, I believe that was a light. We're going to get around the trees here. Backing up now. This is not good here. I'm gonna take a medium shot here because once he starts backing up into those officers, that changes the game quite a bit here. He's going to back up. Playing a little bit of cat and mouse here. Going forward. Then backing up. And I don't know, over that curb into a parked vehicle. This guy is nuts. Completely nuts. This is a very dangerous situation here. Officers out of their cars, got them at gunpoint. And I'm hoping that he gives up. I mean, he's putting himself in a very precarious situation here, and as if he's pressing them into the position of having to shoot, quite possibly. I just hope he gives it up at this point, because he's essentially using this truck as a weapon, and I'm fairly certain that it's being perceived that way. He's moving around in there. He's, like I said, I've been saying seems to be very agitated, animated, and it's just hard to imagine what's going through his head. Is he mentally unstable? We just don't know at this point. This is a good position right here. So again, we've got a K-9 here. We've got at least one K-9 officer. Okay, copy that. I hope it is over. I hope it is over. I'm talking to my pilot right now, and we just don't know. The way this guy's been driving and playing cat and mouse with them, and basically plowing through whatever he wants to plow through with that truck, using the size and the weight of that truck to move vehicles around, back up towards officers. It's just not a situation. It's not a good situation whatsoever. It's a situation that just doesn't appear as though it's going to end very well. Now, here's somebody walking behind that truck. I don't know why in the heck he would be back there, because what he doesn't know is this guy loves to back up. So hopefully officers will get that individual out of there. I just don't know what goes through people's heads when they do that kind of stuff. Oh, what was that he just threw out? He's throwing something out, or something is... Come around the passenger side just a little bit. I'm seeing something that looks like fire on the other side. Okay. Okay, so it looks like they're putting less than lethal rounds into the cab. More less than lethal rounds inside. And it looks like they're also injecting some pepper gas or cartridges inside there to try and smoke him out, possibly. Doors opening. And hopefully he will have his hands up. Okay, so you saw what just happened there. K-9 advanced forward. He shut his door. I don't know what he's doing with the mirror. What's he doing with the mirror? So I'm pretty sure they're giving him call-outs, trying to convince him to come out of there as they fire more rounds into the cab to try and motivate him to get out of the cab of that truck. And hopefully he realizes here he's on the losing end of this particular battle right now. There's just really nowhere for him to go unless he's going to ram through these officers that are right in front of him. And I think we can probably surmise what might happen next if he tries to ram these police officers. It's just not going to end well for him. And so twice now they've tried to deploy the dog, and he keeps closing himself back into the cab. And we'll just see, perhaps they'll be able to entice him to come out of the cab without deploying the dog. Because at this point, with whatever they've been firing inside, the gas that they've been firing inside the cab, I'm quite certain he's motivated to get out of there. Yeah, it's hard to imagine that he's able to breathe inside that cab with all that pepper gas, pepper spray, those cartridges going inside to the cab there. But I think he's weighing his options right now. Would he rather try and stay in there and sustain the pepper gas, or perhaps be taken down by the canine? And I think he has voted through his actions that he is not going to get out of that cab until he absolutely has to. More rounds going inside the cab, and he's trying to fan those rounds out, and he's trying to fan the gas. He's got his shirt off, and he's using whatever he can to try and fan out the gas that's inside the cab. He's got all the windows open to try and breathe. He just doesn't want to come out of the cab right now. Officers advancing. Opening the door. They got him at gunpoint. Dogs inside the cab. Dogs inside the cab. I got to think that's going to motivate him to get out of that cab. He's kicking the dog right now. He's kicking the dog, trying to get the dog off of him. Officers still got him at gunpoint. And he keeps trying to stay in there. Okay, so officers have backed off, don't know why. Not quite sure if he has a weapon or what the situation is, but they have now backed off. They're back in their positions by their patrol car. And now the standoff continues right now. Okay, doors opening again. He's got his hands up. He seems to be complying, following officers' directions. Down on his knees, hands out. Actually, he's sitting down, flat.
Bloody.
Yeah.
He's going to try to listen to the commands now. Yeah, Dave.
Yeah. One officer, like I said, it's multi-agencies at this point. So one officer will start yelling out the orders and have them turn around, and we've all seen that what he's going to do. And but yeah, that K9 did its job. It subdued him.
Yep.
It got him hurting, and
That did its job. You're right.
What the officers wanted.
Yep, you're right.
This way, no shots fired.
Yep.
Especially
just
because
tough 'em
through
up.
this entire pursuit, it was very dangerous for all the innocent people that are out there the day before Christmas Eve, getting their shopping done.
Absolutely.
Maybe going to family events. And this box truck was just moving through these residential streets like it was a car, you know?
Right.
Like it wasn't carrying all that weight.
And
you get a vehicle this size, you can't pit it. It's just too dang big, of course. So what you can do is just try and throw the, if you can get out ahead, which they did do, go down between poles. Sorry, my buddies are talking too loud.
Dave, you're absolutely right, though. The canine did its job. No shots fired. The guy is, walking. We don't know how injured he is, but, you're right about that.
Yeah. So this one, thank God it ended right. So God, just so worried about all those citizens around there stuck Christmas shopping day before Christmas Eve, and we have to put up with this here in Los Angeles.
Dave, we want to thank you for your time tonight as this pursuit has now come to an end. I'm sure this suspect will need some medical attention first before they're then booked into custody officially. But you can see that person now in handcuffs there. And of course, we'll continue to follow this, Tom, and keep you updated once we get more information. But for now, it looks like this has come to an end.